Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. We're going to be talking about the 2025 Thrivers Cruises, and we are so excited. Beverly, wow, what a great cruise we just had.
Yes, I, yes, it was an incredible sailing, incredible group, incredible weather, incredible destination, stunning. Um, so much to reflect upon from that last cruise and absorb and think about and the great times we had together. It was unreal. And for,
Mhm.
what I witnessed for some, it was life changing,
Yes.
life changing. For me, it was deeply life touching. And I come back, we've been doing this cruise now for over 17 years, and I come back from every cruise a different person, feeling stronger in myself, feeling touched, um, more connected, more connected with life. Um, that's what this group does. So, yes, it was an incredible sailing like no other. It was just stunning. And having New York before we left, the experience of New York for those that partook in New York was incredible. And then Bermuda was incredible. So yeah, I'm still basking in it. We've been back. How long have we been back?
About a week,
Uh,
I think.
it was just a little over a week. Yes, I think we got back on the 9th, so we're 11 days out. Finally got the suitcase unpacked, clothes and everything put away. But yet, it's like, you sort of feel like you want to leave the things in the suitcase, wash them, put them back in, and it's like, let's go again. So
Well,
anyway, so I'm excited
speaking
to be talking about that. Yeah.
speaking of let's go again, how about I'll share my screen here
Okay.
and we can start talking about next year. So, um, like I said, I'm Connie Saunders. We are lucky to have Beverly Vogt on the webinar with us today, and we're going to be talking about our 2025 cruises.
How the cruise got started. Do you want me to jump right in, Connie?
Yes.
Okay. Um, the cruise started years ago with just a little idea about, how can women get together, breast cancer survivors, men and women, get together more often, share experiences, and celebrate our milestones, celebrate life. And it's like, where do you take a group of people? Do we change, you know, where do you do that? Where, because of the Breast Cancer Wellness magazine, this actually started through the magazine. Um, and that's how I came up with the cruise. The cruise is a perfect place to get away and bring people together for this common destination of going on a cruise. So that's how it started. Our very first cruise was, I've shared this story before, but I'll share it for the new people that will be seeing this. We started with the very first cruise sailing out of Alaska, and there were 29 of us on that first sailing. Half of them were my family, and the other half was the keynote speaker's family. And the travel agent at the time talked me into doing it again. And I didn't want to, but she talked me into it. So we did. So the next year, I think we had 49 on the cruise or something. And from there, it has grown into the longest running cruise event in the world for breast cancer survivors. And every year, the momentum and the fellowship and the synergy and this bond that we have just continues to grow and blossom. So that's how it started, and that's sort of where we are today. So, in reflecting on this, how we got here and where we've been and things like that, um, I will share with you that, um, gosh, we have in the past we've had cruisers from Australia, Grand Cayman, England, Ireland, Belgium, Canada, Africa, Afghanistan, and Alaska, even though Alaska is not a separate country from ours. Um, and we've sailed on Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Celebrity Princess, and NCL. By far, Royal Caribbean is the most asked for, but I will say, Of all of our cruise liners, Royal Caribbean is asked for the most by our cruisers. But I will say, I've never had a problem with any of our past ships. Never, never. They've all been wonderful. We have sailed out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Newark. There's, next to New York City, Long Beach, California, New Orleans, Rome, and Seattle. And I bet you I've missed a couple. Um, so this is just in 17 years. And we have sailed to, and I know I'm missing a bunch here, Key West, Cozumel, Belize, Puerto Rico, Puerto Vallarta, Cabo San Lucas, Barbados, St. Thomas, St. Martin, St. Croix, Rome, Barcelona, Florence. Gosh, what am I missing? Bermuda. I'm missing Bermuda that we just got back from. So we have sailed to a lot of destinations together, and it's just everyone has been incredible, and I feel intensely blessed personally to be a part of this experience, because it is so uplifting. And for those who were on our last sailing, we just went, got back from the pink sands of Bermuda, and that was, you know, Bermuda was stunning. Um, I had no idea. The marketing person in Bermuda does not do Bermuda justice for how beautiful it is. And not to take anything away from that person, but it's very hard to capture the essence of that beauty of Bermuda. And we had absolutely perfect weather. We were so incredibly blessed throughout this sailing. In in ways that we just can't count. I mean, it was just blessing after blessing after blessing. So that's a quick gist of where we've been and why we've started the cruise, the Breast Cancer Thrivers Cruise. And I like Connie. I'm excited that we're already talking about the 18th annual gathering. Which is a year away. So anyway. So what else would you like for me to add in that?
I
What am I,
think
what
that
am I forgetting? Okay.
no, I think that's great.
Okay.
Oh, the places we will go, right? Yes.
We still have the rest of the world to discover together, to explore.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes.
I should be playing that.
Wow.
I should be playing that song, Memory. Sorry, I won't sing. Okay.
Wow. That's pretty stunning.
It is.
That's pretty stunning.
Yes. And it's all that top picture in the middle is just true love, right? It's just amazing. So all of them are just true love.
Mm-hmm.
So Beverly, why do we cruise?
What I love about going on a cruise together, it offers something for everybody. There's so much entertainment on the cruise, and because it's included in the cruise package, we get to choose what we want to go to or, not go to. Whether it's dinner together every evening, whether it's going to the shows together, whether it's hanging out the at the different comedy shows, whether it's karaoke, whether it's ice skating, whether it's laying out on the deck, sunbathing, all of that. There's so much that a cruise offers for entertainment, relaxation, enjoying, and being together. I mean, and the cool thing about going on a cruise, there are times that we need to get away from home, and sometimes we just want some time to ourselves. Well, we can do that on a cruise. Or sometimes we want to meet fellow survivors who understand what we've been through or what we're going through. And I've often said that the Thrivers Cruise is a place to come to be heard and to be understood without even saying a word, because we know what women go through. Yet each of our experiences are different, but yet we are, um, you know, we're we're connected by this pink experience. And so again, we cruise for that, for the reason of coming together and in that spirit of that pink family that is one incredible loving energy synergy. And sometimes we don't always get that at home. And Connie, I've got to tell you, we've done, even though this, we just got back from our 17th annual cruise. I think this is actually our 19th cruise that we've done together, because I think a couple of years we took two cruises in the same year. Like when we went on the Mediterranean cruise, that was actually two cruises in one year. But I will tell you that women experience and men experience a type of support that sometimes they don't get at home. But I will tell you, every one of these cruises, every one, I've always watched many women come on the ship, sometimes broken in spirited, a broken spirit, frustrated, overwhelmed, not lost. And I watch women walk off that ship differently. I'm telling you, every cruise. I watch them walk off that ship stronger because of this synergy of this loving group, stronger in who they are. I watch them hold their shoulders back, their head held high. I've witnessed women going home and getting a divorce because it was the best thing for them, quitting a jobs that no longer serve their soul. I've watched, I can name some names of women that have decided to literally move, um, and choose a new place to live in peace, away from turmoil, in their personal environments. I've watched them change, Connie. I've watched them get in touch with, I call a soul level, a deeper level about who they are and what they can experience in their life on the other side of breast cancer. And a lot, we have a lot of women that come on this cruise newly diagnosed. We have all stages of women coming on this cruise, because we're in different places. Each of us are in different places in, in this journey from diagnosis to survival. Um, and so I've just watched that spirit of who our group is to lift us all individually. Um, I can't think of one single person that I know personally that I've met through the years that hasn't been touched by this cruise. Can't think of one. I'm serious. I cannot think of one. And I'm often asked, I think we may be talking about this later, but I'm often asked, well, who goes on the cruise? And I've been asked, can I bring, do people bring their husbands, their families? And I always say, that's up to you. When I've responded to that, I've always said, that's up to you and what you need for you at that time in your life. And sometimes men and women, breast cancer survivors, will come with their significant other and or family. And then the next year they may come by themselves and do some girl time together. Or vice versa. They may come by themselves and the next year say, hey, I want to share this with my with a friend, even though, and then they come with their supports their family and friends and those who are not breast cancer survivors. So why we cruise is because we get to hang out together for, anywhere from 5 to 7 days of just hanging out and enjoying life, laughing and crying and dancing and singing and exploring new destinations, beautiful destinations. Um, and like I said, we cry, we laugh together, we share stories together, but we make lifelong friends. That's it, simple. That's why we cruise.
Amazing. It is
It is.
life-changing, very powerful. It's very empowering, very empowering. Great job. Absolutely. You nailed it. So I've got a little video here that we'll take a quick break and watch this video. Here we go.
I know.
Sign me
I've been
up.
on, yeah, exactly. I've been on that inside passage, and it is stunning. The glaciers were stunning the last time I went. Just stunning. Um, and again, my pictures didn't do it justice. Just to be there so close to them is pretty amazing.
Sure. Yes. Um, so we're going to be returning to Alaska. So since that very first cruise that you did, and maybe a few others, but we're going to be going back in May. The great thing about May is it's considered shoulder season, so the prices are really incredible. This is a bucket list, once in a lifetime trip for most people, and this ship is one of the newest, most amazing cruise ships in Alaska, and some of the features of the ship I'll show you in just a second. But May is going to be a wonderful time. It'll be nice and chilly. It's going to really feel like Alaska. It's going to be amazing. As you can see, this cruise ship has a flow rider on board. So if you're not a surfer, you can go back there and watch. That's really cool. Right below that, you can see the iFly. That's something where you actually, it's like you're skydiving, except it's inverted. So it's really amazing and lots of fun. On the
Oh,
top right is the North Star. So that's the thing that goes up in the air, and it goes out over the ocean, and you can see the views from up there. There's a few times when that is complimentary, and then there's a few times that during the cruise that you have to pay for that, but everybody can do it at least once. And then there's also a Cplex at the bottom, you can see. So there's bumper cars, they have pickleball in there, they have all kinds of soccer in there, but they have all, they convert this area into different activities during the day and night, and it's really a great place to just hang out, especially on a sea day or something like that. So a cruise ship full of options of things to do. Here's the port of calls. I mean, the itinerary. We're going to start in Seattle. We have 2 sea days, and those, as you know, Beverly, are when we get to do most of our time together, where we will have time to meet and an optional time for prayer. We'll have some speakers. Beverly's got some really cool things lined up. We'll keep a few secrets until later. But yeah, you can see we go through Skagway, and then we go to the glacier, Juneau, and I have a photo of each one. So we'll start round trip in Seattle. The great thing about Seattle is that it is round trip Seattle, which is in the USA. So that means that for those of you who have, excuse me, have just a
sorry.
birth certificate, I have it too. Those of you with a birth certificate legally can sail. You have plenty of time to get your passport though. But this is round trip from Seattle. So it's easy in, easy out. Southwest flies into Seattle, so that keeps it economical. And we'll all meet the night before in several different hotels through the city. I mean, there'll be different options for hotels. We'll also go to Sitka, which is beautiful. It's a little small town right on the coast. Lots of activities to do there. We'll go to Skagway. One of the cool things there is the train. It takes you all the way up into Canada, and you can see the mining, hear all about the history of the gold rush, which is just amazing. And the views from this train are incredible. And then we get up close and personal to the fjord. You get to see the glacier. And then there's Juneau, just another little small town right on the coast, just walking distance. It's great.
Mhm.
And then we go to British Columbia, which is our stop in Canada. And it's just a beautiful little quaint, amazing, wonderful town. And then we'll go back to Seattle. So this cruise has a lot of different cabins available. The cool thing about this ship is that there are some solo cabins. So for those of you that are interested in sailing alone, as long as they're still available, and we can certainly check that for you, they do offer solo cabins, and they don't charge you double. It's not quite half, but they don't charge you double. So it is an option for those people that like to sail alone. The cool thing about this ship also is that on the top left, you can see the inside cabin with a virtual balcony. So that virtual balcony is a floor to ceiling TV, really. and it shows live views from outside. So inside your cabin, you'll be able to see what's going on outside as if you had a window or a balcony. Of course, there's regular window rooms and regular balcony rooms. And I did put both balconies there at the bottom so you could see the one on the left is obstructed and the one on the right is not obstructed. And the difference, if you look on the balcony beyond the bed, you'll see a yellow lifeboat. And it's because that lifeboat is in the way. So you'll still be able to see out and up, but you can't look down. I mean, you can look down, but you'll see a lifeboat. So those are much better priced. So it's just an option, but you need to know that there is something in the way to obstruct your view. So there's either no obstructions or obstructions. And then the next one is our 4-night cruise in October. Beverly, we've never had a cruise in October, have we? Oops, you're muted.
We have never sailed in October, so it is time. It's past time, so we'll be doing it.
Yeah, and I'm excited because with it being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we'll be able to really, this year, hopefully, share it with the world and get lots of people to hear about our cruise and join
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
This is one of the largest ships in the world. You can see on the left, it's called the Symphony of the Seas. It always just does 7-night cruises, and they're always very, very expensive. But for some reason, there's a once in a lifetime 4-night cruise in October of 25 just for us. I think they booked
Hmm.
it just for us. But it's a 4-night cruise. It's very affordable. And we get this amazing, amazing ship. So 25 is the year of amazing ships, and just a 4-night cruise. The Symphony of the
Well,
Seas.
I
Yeah.
was just going to say, Connie, on that, it is, those of us who have sailed, been on some cruises, it is unusual to have such a large ship, to experience such a large ship for such what's considered a short sailing, a 4-night sailing. And when you were first sharing with me about this, that this was available in October, number one, I didn't realize how awesome this ship was, but how rare this was. So I just wanted to emphasize that. I know you're getting ready to go over the details on this, but this ship, when you were talking about it, when you first approached me about, hey, this is an idea, I was blown away. I had no idea, no idea. And so I've researched so many ships through the years trying to get us the best. So anyway, I just want to thank you for that. So I'll shut up as you shared this about the
Yeah,
Symphony
you're
of the
fine.
Seas. I love it.
Well, I think the thing that this slide shows you, there's a lot to do. It's very busy,
Wow.
and you can be as busy or as relaxed as you want. There's things for people of all ages, from baby splashaway parks to private adult only solarium areas that no kids are allowed. So if you come alone, if you bring your family, if you bring your spouse, if you bring your girlfriend, if you bring whoever, whatever, it's going to be the perfect ship for you. This ship has 7 neighborhoods. So there's a Central Park area, there's a promenade area, there's a boardwalk area with a merry-go-round and a zip line. And there's just so many things. There's a high diving show in the back. There's a Broadway theater show in the theater. I mean, there's a lot to do in 4 days. So rest now because you won't have any time for that on the ship. So we'll be sailing 4 nights from Miami here again, 2 sea days. And those are what we love because we really get to spend some time with each other and spend some time in the pink bubble. But then again, kind of like how amazing Bermuda was, I have a feeling that this beautiful ship is going to take us to a beautiful place called the Dominican Republic. And it's an island in the Caribbean with beautiful water, beautiful colors, and the Royal Caribbean offers some amazing shore excursions there that we will be talking about as we move forward, with the people who are booked. But the Dominican Republic, have we ever been there before on a cruise, Beverly?
We have not. We have not. It was waiting for us.
Yes. So this will be our port stop for the October cruise. And they don't know what's gonna happen, do they?
Well, I've never been to the Dominican Republic, so I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome.
And I was surprised when I've spoken with other people who've been there and how much they love it. I'm just, I had no idea. And so it's like, okay, now we get to experience it in person.
Yes, as a group, that'll be fun.
Hmm.
So this cruise ship, I just made these a little bit larger. Some of my favorites are the ice skating show. It has a full 18-hole mini golf. It's got the Central Park there at the top right. That's a beautiful area in the middle of the ship that's open air, with lots of shops and restaurants. There's the ship at night. She's just gorgeous. There's two flow riders, full basketball court, zip line, slides. There's just tons of things to do and see, or do nothing at all. And I like that part too.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I wanted you to see who our travel team is. So we've got Catherine, who was on our last cruise. She's our travel advisor and events coordinator, and she will be helping us with all the events. Then we've got Joanne. Many of you worked with her on your bookings for the Bermuda. We've got Sherry, that's the agency manager. And then Leanne was our special guest on our last cruise, and she helps me with social media. And she is the one that did all the photography for the cruise. And the great thing about that is because is that she could make the pictures, and Beverly and I could just be present and be there with you. So it was nice having her there as our consultant, and she, as our social media consultant, and she'll be helping us make sure we stay in communication with everybody going forward in terms of like newsletters and things that we're going to do. But a lot of you will be talking with Joanne, and I just wanted you to see her there. And of course, Catherine will be on our cruises too. So she's my daughter. And you know how that is, Beverly, having your daughter be part, right?
Absolutely. And I was very appreciative to have her there for so many reasons, the input that she had, but all of your team, now Joanne's not joined us on the cruise yet, but Sherry has in the past. And I loved it that Leanne was, on this last cruise because she really got a feel for what we were about and she's
Yes.
able to capture that. So you do have an incredible team. And all of us who have experienced different travel agents will agree with this, that it is the best service in the world. And I do love your team and I do appreciate your team. So thank you for
Oh,
that, Connie.
that's sweet, Beverly. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So how do we book? So if you go to our Facebook page or go to our website, it's called thriverscruise.org, and there you will see a tab for cruises. And when you click on the cruises tab, it takes you to a page that shows you all of our cruises. And when you click on register, it takes you to a page that looks like this for Alaska, and you just fill out all your information, and then we send you a link to pay. Or you pick the October, and it's the same thing. You fill out all your information, who's going to be in your cabin, and we'll send you a link to pay. Or you do both, because we have a lot of people going on both cruises because they're so far apart and such different experiences. So here's kind of a timeline. So you want to book and make your cabin deposits now, because the sooner you do, the more time you have for additional payments. You can make any additional payment anytime up until final payment, which is January 10th for Alaska. And as you can see, January 15th for the DR, and the
July
sorry,
15th.
July
July.
15th for the DR. And as you can see there, that when the Alaska and October cruises are. So nice little timeline. The thing is that with the payment plan, you can pay as much or as little as you want, as long as everything's paid by the due dates. Why book early? So mostly because prices only go up. We only have a certain number of cabins at the low rate, and once they're gone, then we have to increase the rates to whatever we have next. It's also the best selection of cabins. The people that are booking now are getting the best cabins available, and then if you wait till later, they'll be more expensive and also won't be available. And then you also have more time for a payment plan. So if you want to take advantage of paying a certain amount every month or something, you can, or you can wait and pay it all at the end. There's no requirement. It's just an option, and we like to offer that. So the deposit for each cruise is different, and it's because the cruise length is different. So the one in October is only 4 nights, so that deposit is only $100. whereas the Alaska cruise is 7 nights, so that deposit is 250 per person. And most cruises most cabins hold 2 people. And if you have more than two, then we would just need to quote you, because cabins for 3 or 4 or 5 cost differently than cabins for two. And also, typically, if people have just one person in the room, the price is much different as well. So once you fill out the form, then we will send you a quote for the cabin, unless it's just a cabin for two, and then we'll send you a link to pay. Due to this being such a near and dear cruise for us, most deposits are refundable. So there, if we end up booking like a triple or quad, which means a room for 3 or a room for 4, then we will let you know if that's a non-refundable deposit. But just based on the fact that this is our Thrivers cruise, we don't want you to have any stress. So we typically quote you um, refundable deposits, because that's important. We also will send you a link for insurance that you need to purchase within 10 days of booking, because after 10 days, the link expires and it's a pain to try to get it reinstated, but we can do it. So as soon as you book, the next step is just getting your insurance. We can always revise the insurance later when you add flights and things like that. But insurance is very important, Beverly. Don't you agree?
Um, we actually require it for our cruisers. They can opt out of it because they're adults, but it's a requirement that they purchase it because of the world that we live in today. We just want them to have that extra protection. It makes a world. I have an insurance background. That's what I was doing when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And the most important part of this portion of it is if you have to travel back home, and because you're in short notice, it can be very expensive. If you have any medical issues, it can be very, it's to your advantage to have it. It's worth every penny to have the travel insurance. I don't say that lightly. And so buying the insurance, you buy it, it's there, you go have a good time. So that's what I want to say on that. It's just an important piece of it. So it's just that important for you. And we ask, for you to highly consider it. So,
Sure.
yeah,
Well, we don't want anyone to ever lose a penny. And so that's why it's important.
that too.
So yeah. So how will we get there? So for the Seattle cruise, everybody will fly to Seattle, and we suggest that you get there the night before. Flights for Seattle will be available sometime this summer, except for Southwest, and those don't get published until about 6 months prior. So around December of 2024 for Southwest. And the cool thing, remember, Seattle is one of Southwest's big cities, so you might save some money if you wait on that. We'll have several different hotels in Seattle. Seattle has hotels near the airport, and then they have hotels that are downtown. And we'll have a variety of different hotels with different price points, so that if you want to have something a little more inexpensive by the airport, you can. Or if you want to be downtown in the middle of all the hustle and bustle, you could do that too. Seattle has really great Uber service, cab service, and if you're coming in the day of or leaving the day the cruise ends, you can get a transfer through Royal Caribbean. So all of those things will happen next year. For the one in Miami, you can fly to Miami or Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale is only 20 minutes away from Miami, and they do transfers very easily from both airports. So flights will be available around November of this year for flights into Fort Lauderdale, unless you want to try Southwest, and then that'll be next April. Like I said, there's hotels in Fort Lauderdale and Miami. Here again, great Uber, cab, Royal Caribbean transfers. Uber on embarkation day is very busy, and so a transfer might be better, or even a cab. We'll have some onboard events. Beverly, I'll let you kind of talk about this, but we're going to post what excursions everybody is going to be taking so that other people can join them if they want. We'll have meetups, prayer, devotions. You want to add something?
I do. You've got a survey that's either been sent out or that's going to be sent out so that we can have some input from our cruisers and our interested cruisers what they want as far as participations on board. I have access to incredible speakers across the country. So we have a theme for Alaska, navigating to new horizons, and then for the DR, it's love you more two, as in Roman number two. And so we'll have speakers lined up for that, for the presentations. But most of our onboard sessions, it's about fellowship and just hanging out and being together and enjoying everything there on the cruise. And then also, as Connie has already mentioned, when it's time to start booking for our shore excursions, a lot of us will want to be doing different things in both Seattle, on the Alaska cruise and on the Dominican Republic together. And so so we'll be doing that as well. And then the devotional and prayer time is, always of high interest to some. It is totally optional for everybody. But we'll have that as well. Basically that's it. The format of what have been doing through the years will continue as far as us getting up and getting together and hanging out is pretty much still the same.
And I failed to add a slide about it, but here's the best time to really talk about our fun event, the pink party, because every cruise has a pink party. And that's where we celebrate life and we celebrate everything. And the whole cruise party is pink and pink cake and pink fun. And what else, Beverly?
It's so crazy fun. It's pretty emotional sometimes. It is. We just love each other. That's all I can say about the pink party, and we're just thankful to be together. And so we have different awards on the cruise, and this year, for 2025, we may have a couple new categories in the award ceremony. So we may shake up the award ceremony just a little bit different for both of these cruises, and we'll keep you posted on on those categories. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
No worries. So, speaking of communication and how to get things out, we have a new Facebook page and it's called Thrivers Cruise and it's a main page. And we're going to be posting things there about thriving and also things about cruising. So, you should probably like and follow our main Breast Cancer Thrivers Cruise Facebook page. Because that's going to be new and exciting. I'm looking forward to all the things we're going to post there, Beverly. Um, and then we also have a private Facebook group for each cruise. So if you book on the Alaska cruise, you'll be invited to this new group we created yesterday just for the Breast Cancer Thrivers Alaska 2025 booked guests. Say that really fast, right? But it's private and secure. It's our Facebook pink bubble just for discussions about this cruise. So what shore excursions Beverly's going to do, what shore excursions we're going to do, what night is white night, just different discussions about this ship, this cruise, and we'll keep all of those conversations in this group, which will be private. You'll have to request to be entered. You have to be booked to keep it, our pink bubble. We will also have one for the Eastern Caribbean one. This is also called the Dominican Republic one. Same thing. Once you're booked, we'll send you a link to this and you can join the Breast Cancer Thrivers Eastern Caribbean 2025 booked group guest private group. And here again, it'll just be on the information on that. We still have our regular main discussion group page that we've always had that has 5,300 members that Beverly started years ago. And we're going to continue that. And that's going to be a discussion group of just a safe place to talk about cruising. We welcome new people. We encourage people. I think Beverly's vision, and I'll let you speak, Beverly, is just that everybody encourages one another in that private space.
Absolutely. And because we all know someone who's been affected by breast cancer, because we all our current cruisers know how impactful and awesome a sailing together is. They can they can invite others to join the not the private groups, but the breast cancer thrivers group Facebook page
Yes.
that's open, and just so that others can get a feel for what we're about.
Yes.
That might help them, because if they've never cruised before, they just may want to sit back and watch a little bit, or and then see that, hey, this group's for me, that we're safe, we're fun. Um, so that's, I love how you've done that, Connie. I very much appreciate that.
Oh,
How
you're
we've got
welcome.
to the,
So,
the collective, and then the two separate private. I love that.
yeah. So it's, if for those of you that have been on the page forever, it's the one that you have to join to be part of, because we don't want, stalkers or spam emails or anything in there.
Right,
And right
right.
now, currently, it has the photo from our last cruise on it. So that's what the main page looks like for our private group, where we can just talk about everything. So, but each cruise will have its own specific one going forward as well.
Okay,
So that's about it. I think I want to thank everyone for coming. We do have a few questions, Beverly, so let me see what they are. Karen
perfect.
Jo Smith said hi,
Hey,
and
Karen Joe.
Jacqueline Caesar Powell said the same thing.
Hey, Jacqueline.
Um, Someone asked, can I make my payment now or await a cabin mate? My gut says go ahead and make your payment now, because you can start on your payment plan if you want to make that. And then you can
Okay.
have a whole year really to find who you're going to room with. Do you agree, Beverly?
I always, I waited 1 year thinking, okay, I've got plenty of time. And I've done this cruise how many years now? I personally just waited to book my own. I don't know what. I must have got busy. But it's like I could have gotten a better cabin for less money had I if I hadn't waited. So I don't make that mistake again. So I just want to share that. And so Connie, correct me if I let me see if I understood this correctly. We make our deposit, and then when do we need to make our next payment? Can
Not
we
till
wait
final.
60 days? Okay.
Yeah, not
Oh,
till
okay.
final. Yeah.
Or
So
make a
unless you
payment
want it.
wrong if we want to?
Yes.
Okay.
So
That's great too.
yes, if anyone has any questions, you can put them in the Q&A. I see some people raising their hands, but it's probably better if you just put the question in the Q&A. Someone asked about a handicap room, and those you just need to fill out the form, and then someone in our office will get you a quote for what that type of cabin availability is, and the pricing. Uh, Someone asked, can friends join? Beverly.
Um, why would we not want our friends to join us? Yeah, absolutely. This is your cruise experience. You can invite anyone you want. Absolutely. It's open to family, friends, loved ones, church members, co-workers, neighbor next door. Absolutely.
Yes. The next one is, I registered and I did not get a response yet. So I will tell you why. It's because we've gotten a lot of registrations. So we're in the process of going through them now, and you should get an answer pretty quickly now that things are starting to roll. So um, let's see. Question, is travel insurance valid for non-US residents who live outside of the USA? Travel insurance is only valid for US and Canadian, unless you have an address that you can receive mail at in the USA. So if yours is a particular situation like that, just let us know and we can give you some options. Let's see. I received information for Alaska, but I signed up for the Dominican Republic, but nothing yet to make the down payment. Yes, like I said, we're in the process of getting to everybody as quickly as we can. Um, and there's another question about handicap rooms, so feel free to just put that in the notes that you're interested in a handicap room or that you're interested in a suite. So suites are available on both ships, and the suite prices are they vary based on what type of suite, all the way from junior suite to huge grand suites and owner suites. And there's even 2-story loft suites. So there's lots of suites available. We'll be happy to quote you on that. If you book now without a roommate, sometimes it asks you for the other guest name. You can always just say NA or don't know, or usually I leave it to where you can leave that form blank, or you can put NA. And then once we get in touch with you, you can let us know if you want the room by yourself or if you want to have a roommate. Will you offer travel insurance through our agency? Absolutely. As soon as you're booked, you'll get a quote for insurance that will cover you in case you get sick and can't go, or a close family member gets sick and you can't leave them. It also covers you while you travel for medical expenses. It also covers you for lost or delayed bags. So it's very comprehensive. And like I said, you get that as soon as you book, you get. Let's see, any other questions? How can we let others know that we want a roommate? So when you book, you'll be working with Joanne or Sherry, and you can just let us know and we'll keep a running list, and then we will try to pair you up if you want a roommate. Any other questions? Well, like I said, this video is being recorded, and we will post it on the Facebook page for those that missed it. But I think one thing we want to ask everybody is to make sure that they share the news about the cruise, both cruises, and uh, so that if each one reaches one, then we can have double the numbers next year and we can have even more fun. So I think we lost Beverly, but I want to thank her for being here. She is the visionary for this whole thing, and without her, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you, Beverly. We love you, and I just want to thank everybody for coming today and for being part of this. And so, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, Connie at thriverscruise.org. And we hope to see you, SEA, very soon. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.